welcome to this review of football in and around Oxford over the weekend of the 24th and 25th of January with Colin Ride and the national non-league newspaper reporter Patrick Locke. It was a very good weekend for both the yellow and blue sides of the city of Dreaming Spars as Oxford United beat Leicester City 2-1 at Leicester, a result that sadly sees Oxford United still second from bottom and 3 points from safety in the Championship, in contrast to Oxford City, who beat second place Fylde 1-0, meaning the Hoops stayed just out of the relegation zone, 2 points clear of it, in fact. And you were there, Patrick Locke. What a great result for Oxford City.
Yes, indeed. And as you just mentioned the table, I'll start with that. And it's one of those results where teams around us won as well. And it's a bit frustrating because you feel like when you win, you should be gaining ground on some teams. But yeah, so teams around us won as well, so didn't really gain any ground. But you think of it from the other way, that if City had lost and they'd won, then they'd have gained ground on us. So just as important to keep up with them as much as trying to pull away. But yeah, really impressive win, and against second place AFC Fylde as well. So a team who have been doing well in the league this year. But City, I mean, it was a cagey game throughout. Really, it was a weird game. Lacked clear-cut chances. I know you're going to ask me about it shortly, but Johnny Maxted, who's the debutant keeper for City this weekend, he was busy, but it was more efforts from range and regulation saves, so you wouldn't call them clear-cut chances. But yeah, there wasn't much going on, and but one of the few clear-cut chances of the game City took, and it was a mistake from their own free kick from AFC Fylde, and Ewan Clark pierced the offside trap perfectly and ran forward and slotted home. And the kind of goal that City conceded quite a lot, where you make one mistake and get punished for it. And thankfully this time it was City that did that. So yeah, really, really impressive win. And yeah, once it went 1-0 up, didn't really have any trouble from AFC Fylde. It was a strange performance from them, because they were still very passive after they went 1-0 down, and City dealt with what they threw at us very well. So yeah, really impressive win, and one that may be quite crucial come the end of the season.
Yeah, and I think we can hear from Ross Jenkins chatting to Andy Gates after that game. A nice quote here from Andy Ballard as well, long-standing man around Oxford City, as well as mention of the three new players, which we chat about after we hear from Ross Jenkins chatting to Andy Gates.
Yeah, it was a good game. We had to work hard for it. We didn't probably play our great stuff in possession. I thought our shape was really good. I thought we frustrated them a lot. I felt they changed a little bit of their shape, which affects us a little bit. But then I thought the boys dug in deep to keep on going, to keep working hard, and it's a great result. Clean sheet's massive, but we had a few opportunities to affect the goal a little bit better than what we did. So could have been a different score, but they're a top team. They're playing in a great manner. They had a lot of possession. We knew that would happen. We told the boys to be ready for that. The shape was really good. The front boys pressed and kept their shape well. The midfield boys were solid, and the defenders done their job. So Johnny at the end collecting 2 out the air really takes the pressure off you, but real good team performance, good win, clean sheet, 3 points. It's a good day.
Yeah, when you look at the highlights back, you probably think, what are you talking about? It was a good game, but it was a good game. And there's a lot of stuff that the players did, like the yards that they ran, the interceptions they make, that won't make the highlights like real, if you like, but were so important.
Yeah, there wasn't much in possession stuff. There's a few passages that we played quite well. I'd probably say more defensively, it is really good to watch this one back and look at the distances, look at the shape, look at the endeavour, look at the attitude to work and run hard. And the boys will be sore today because they covered some real distance. I thought everyone was stood up to be counted. I thought we had to defend for large periods, and we knew that. We knew the boys had to dig in with their shape. So really pleased with that. Would have been easy just to give up at the end and fold because of the pressure. But, you keep standing up, you keep defending, keep squeezing the box, keep getting to people, keep stopping crosses, keep making blocks. And the goal was a really well-taken goal. So we had a few counter-attacks, a few mini counter-attacks that we probably should do better with. But overall, really pleased with the performance. Everyone's done a big shift today, and the 3 points are massive.
I remember speaking to Andy Ballard probably a couple of years ago now, but I've always remembered what he said. He said, there's no result in football better than a 1-0 because it shows you've worked hard, you've won, and you've kept a clean sheet. Today, is that something that you agree with?
Yeah, considering we didn't have much possession, to get something out of the hard work, we've not had that in recent weeks. We worked ever so hard and got nothing out of it. Today is a prime example. If you keep going, keep doing the basics well, if you keep with it, you keep backing up your teammates, you keep running hard and you keep pressing and you keep your shape, you normally get something out of it. And today is a massive reward. So the boys will be stiff, but it does feel better when you get 3 points under your belt.
You also get something out of it if you take your chances. And both teams had chances, probably half chances, really. In hindsight, you look back at it, and both keepers made some stops, but they were fairly, standard but important stops for both. But we took our chance, didn't we? And we won that. And that's nice to see after the first half of the season when perhaps we weren't.
Yeah, we had a couple of chances. A couple of half chances. I think O'Shea's had one. I think Alfie Potter had one first half. We had worked it from switch of play really good. Couple of bits in and around the box. We had a couple of crosses in there. I think O'Shea could have got his head on one of them. DJ Sturridge had a 1v1 and sort of fell over the ball a little bit. But we had a couple of half chances, but I think the most important one was the Ewan Clark one. He'd done it in the previous game, sort of 1v1, nice and calm, finds the back of the net. And when you've been working so hard to have that clarity and that calmness to put the ball into the goal, it's a real skill. So a big credit to Ewan, but the boys who provided that, who won the ball back in a little mini counter-attack. So everyone played their part today. Really important that everyone did. They were a top team filed. We knew that. We knew they were going to play some really good stuff. We knew that they were going to try and play through us, and we tried to deny that as much as possible, which I thought we did. And on the flip side, we just dug in and kept on working, and we got the 3 points.
You know what it's like after the game. You put your phone on, you look at the scores. There'll be a few teams that will be looking at this result going, flipping hell, Fylde should have done us a favour today. We've kind of upset the apple cart a bit in terms of that result. But how important is it that we use that momentum to keep going forward now? Yeah,
we've had some really positive results, some good performances. Trying to back it up with like a double header, a win and a win would be nice. I think the most important thing is the performance today. So we've been quite heavy this week in terms of analysing and picking apart our training, picking apart games and picking apart the opposition and putting it all together. I thought it came together really well. So we've got loads of good evidence to show them from the work we've done in the week, and just to show that when we do stick together and when we keep our shape and when we work hard and we counter and we go with energy and enthusiasm, we can score goals and keep clean sheets. So real good one for the players to reflect on and to watch it. As I said, wasn't the best in possession game. We didn't have large periods of the ball, but I thought we used it wisely when we did have it, and we got the goal that I thought we deserved.
Final one from me. 3 debutants today making the full debut. Johnny Maxted in between the sticks, Aaron Harper-Bailey at the back, and also Evan Humphreys, who signed this week. I thought all three had pretty solid matches.
Yeah, I thought it did. First half, the wind was a big factor. I thought it took us probably 12, 13, 40 minutes to adjust to it with a flight of the ball. But 3 players who have not had too much time with us come straight in. I thought Johnny was brilliant, second half especially. First half with the wind, it's always difficult for the back line and goalies to get any momentum or get the ball up the pitch quickly. I thought second half he came out and really showed us what he's about, and that's why we signed him. He took the pressure off us. He comes out and gets those 2 crosses. Exactly what you need. Experienced pro coming in, taking the pressure off, easing the game down. I thought Aaron done really well as well. And there's a bit after the game that we'll address with the referees. So that sort of clouded a real performance from Aaron. So I was quite disappointed to hear about that. But I thought Evan came in and hit the ground running. Now, got to manage him slightly. It's his first game with us, the intensity as well. But I thought the minutes he was on the pitch was superb.
So there we are. It's Ross Jenkins talking to Andy Gator after that game. And 3 new players coming in, debutants straight in the side. Goalkeeper seems to have made quite a difference. But how have these new players improved Oxford City, in your opinion, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, the goalkeeper before, he's coming from Brackley Town, and he's an experienced goalkeeper, as Johnny Max said. He's played in the league a few times and has been at Brackley Town for a few years. And I remember going to Brackley Town at the end of last season. He was their number 1 then, and City were 1-0 down, and I remember Alfie Potter curled one towards the bottom corner, and it looked for all the world like he'd equalised in the last seconds, but out came this hand out of nowhere from Johnny Maxted to save it. So, yeah, he'd really impressed against Brackley Town last year. So I think he'll be a really big asset coming in for us for the remainder of the season. And hopefully Brackley don't recall him because I think he'll be big. And Aaron Harper-Bailey, he came in. I mean, he did sign a few weeks ago, but he's finally made his debut this weekend and struggled a little bit at the start, I have to say. But as Ross mentioned in there, the wind did make it a bit hard, bit difficult there. And Evan Humphreys as well, who started on the wing again. He didn't do too badly. Again, it was a solid defensive performance, so none of them did particularly badly. So hopefully they'll strengthen the team going forward.
Okay, we'll hear from Johnny Maxted, the debutant on loan keeper from Brackley Town. Now chatting to Andy Gate.
Been in all week, well, end of last week and this week, so meeting the lads, just trying to get used to all the names and everything. But we can't top winning clean sheet.
It seemed like you've got to know them quite well after that.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's been a whirlwind week, and that's it. It's getting a win and clean sheet, can't knock it.
Of course, you know exactly what it's like to be at the top of the National League North table with Brackley last year. So, you probably knew what Fylde would all be about. And then, especially when we've gone 1-0 up and they start to throw a little bit more at you, you've done really well to claim, a few crosses. It was so important that we had to stay streamlined as a back five, if you like, with yourself included. But we did that. Yeah,
that's it. I think, obviously, last season with Brackley, we had plenty of 1-0 wins and whatnot. So that you just use my experience with the back four, and it's just seeing those games out, being patient, not being stupid in possession. You know what I mean? If it has to go, it has to go. I thought the boys seen it out really well.
We were tested today, weren't we? But everyone stood up to the challenge, and football's a game of fine margins. They've been kind of going against us throughout the season. This time it went forward. We were the team that took our chance. It was a great goal, but even better to come away with a clean sheet.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just taking that momentum on now from this win into the next game, and that's all we've got to focus on is the next game.
There we are. So Johnny Maxted, the Oxford City keeper on loan from Brackley Town, making his debut and showing a bit of experience there to secure that 1-0 win and all 3 points for City last Saturday. So both Oxford City and Oxford United got wins, and after quite a few postponed games, Banbury United finally got a game and a win away at Spalding, Patrick.
Yeah, really impressive win as well, because Spalding are league leaders and Banbury have now done the double over them. So a really impressive set of results for them there. They went behind initially. Yusuf Cisse gave Spalding the lead in the first 10 minutes, and against the league leaders, that's always a bit ominous. But in the second half, Luke Stoko levelled on 55 minutes, a good strike from the edge of the box. Before Banbury were awarded a spot kick on 87 minutes, so just a few minutes before the end, Chris Rea stepped up and converted to seal a really impressive win for them there. So hopefully picking up some momentum, and not going to be a tough run coming up because there's going to be a few games in hand as well. So a few Saturday, Tuesdays, and they're supposed to be back at home on Tuesday night. Looking at the forecast, I can't say that I'll be particularly confident that one going ahead. To be honest, as with Oxford City's trip to Hereford as well. But hopefully those games will be on. But hopefully the rain will cease for a bit.
Yeah, indeed. Meanwhile, Thame United have also had a few of their games called off because of flooded pitches and frozen pitches. But they got a game the weekend, came back with a bang, Patrick.
Yes, indeed. We were talking about an unlikely playoff push for Thame, but it's turned into a more than likely push for playoffs now. As I say, they went to Dunstable Town on Saturday, won 6-1. So really impressive win for them there. Dan West opened the scoring from a corner, a bit of a bullet header from a corner. Curtis Brown got a second goal for them. Then Louis Walsh scored twice to to make it 4 before Charlie Stowe got his second in as many weeks, and Lance Williams got the last to make it 6-1. As I say, that puts them 4 points off the playoffs now, and they've got 2 games in hand in the teams above them. So, win those 2, and really could be in a playoff push. And definitely the form team at the moment, and I know we'll go through the fixtures at the end, but they're playing Barton Rovers at home on Saturday coming, which the team above them in the table, so that could be a really big game heading towards the end of the season. So a win there, and they will be in pole position. So really good win for them again.
Okay, so Didcot Town, meanwhile, back on home turf at Luke Meadow at the weekend. They got a really good 2-0 win at home to Melksham Town, Patrick.
Yes, and I mentioned last week in the live show that the last 5 Didcot Town games have ended in home wins, and we can now make that 6 games that has ended in a home win in Didcot Town games, and thankfully they were the home team again this weekend. It was goalless at the break, and Owen James got the opening goal on 55 minutes, stabbed the ball goalwards. It was one of those which was very, very close to the line, and to be honest, you couldn't tell 100% either way. But thankfully for Didcot, the linesman awarded them the goal, so they went 1-0 up. I'll tell people to go and look at Didcot Town's social media channels to kind of make a decision of your own. It's quite hard to tell from the angles that were given, but we'll trust the linesman and say that he got that decision right on that one. But certainly no doubt about the second goal though. Cameron Mills in the first of the added minutes. It took a great touch in the box and then just slammed the ball home to secure a 2-0 win there. So sealed the points. And we can hear from a happy Jamie Heapy, who's speaking to Daz King from the Didcot media team after the game.
Yeah, big 3 points. Thought we played well, especially first 25, 30 minutes. Front-footed. They were quite dangerous on the counter, weren't they? And, we didn't really punish them. We got good areas. We didn't really... That final pass let us down at times. But... No, full credit to them. It was about winning the game, and we did, and we just need that second goal, I thought, towards the second half. Because you
should have had a few, shouldn't we, really?
Yeah, we weren't really... We didn't overly work their goalie, but we were better second half. I thought we controlled... They obviously had a little bit of the ball. They tried to move us around and that, but... No, full credit to the boys. We're missing a few, and they put a hell of a shift, to be fair, like they always do, and I know I say it every week, but... Especially today. I think, JP got man of the match, and I think deservedly so, but there was a lot of good performances out there today. Yeah. So, really pleased. Clean sheet's important, back four defended well, looked a threat going forward, and we got the 3 points. That's the main thing.
Did you tweak it with him a little bit at half time? Because obviously JP sort of went up a few gears second half.
Not really, no. We spoke of just being a bit more... Just talk more and be a bit more organised, really, but nothing. JP's just JP, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's young. You got to try and hold on to him and not get him to go in different positions on the pitch. But he just does it free will, doesn't he? But I don't want to take anything away from his game because that'll affect it. But no, he's got legs, and even at the end, he contributed to the second goal. He's running forward, and he's a fit boy, and. Him and Felix covered a lot of ground today, and fair play to Lockie. He come in and sat in there for Jim.
He did well, Lockie.
Yeah, he found it hard. I think towards the end. Yeah, because it's his first game for a while, so his calves cramped up. And then we had to get Kez on the pitch, and he did well. He's doing well at training, and he deserves a little chance. So he did well, and Cal did well for his debut. Come on with 10 minutes to go, and it was good. It was good. They had, they're a good side, and they shouldn't be down there, but they are, and we've got to beat teams around us, and what's that, 3 on the bounce now at home, I think, isn't it? Yeah, 3 on the bounce, cut a clean sheet, so it's all good, mate, and all good. A good Saturday afternoon, and 2 tough away games now.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a good win out.
They won today, didn't they? So we like all Saturday, so we've just got to dust ourselves down, try and get some. Well, Liam Jensen should be back, shouldn't they? So that'll boost us, but no, full credit to everyone today, staff, squad, real big effort, and thankfully we delivered. So a good day, but we can't rest on our laurels. We've got to go again, haven't we? So got to keep pushing and keep picking up points and get ourselves away from the bottom and just keep pushing on really and make it hard for teams here, like I say. And we've done that. We've done that the last few games, so we've got to keep doing it.
So there we are, Jamie Heap. He took it to Daz King after that game. Right, Patrick, while you were watching Oxford City on Saturday, I was witnessing a Hellenic League Division 1 top of the table clash between Wantage Town and FC Stratford. But before we chat about that, tell us what else survived the weather in the Combined Counties League, Patrick.
Yeah, not such good news in Seps 5 and 6 after all of our teams above managed to win at the weekend. Top of the table clash in the combined counties. Ardley faced Burnham in that total challenge. And sadly, Ardley lost 4-1 to the side currently occupying the top position. So yeah, a blow to their total hopes, but I'll go through the permutations of that in a second. Elsewhere, Kidlington earned a point on the road at Harefield United. Aidan Ulas scored the goal for them with 5 minutes to play. Milton United were the only other side in action this week in that division. They were on the end of a heavy 5-1 defeat to Wokingham Town. Looking at the table, Ardley can still topple Burnham at the top if they win their 5 games in hand. The big issue for them, though, is the pressure they're now under from below in Windsor and Eton, who are 2 points behind Ardley United, but they've got 3 games in hand. So, looking not looking quite so rosy as it was a few months ago, but still in a strong position, and I'm sure can still get a playoff position at the very least. Fingers crossed that Ardley can find some form again in the next few weeks. Wallingford and Crowmarsh are still 4th, having had no game this weekend. Ardley are in 5th still. Then Kidlington 8th, Milton 9th, and then Abingdon United 15th and Northley in 18th in that division. United Counties League, Easington Sports are in action for the first time in a few weeks, but they're on the wrong end of the odd goal in 7 at Addison Road. Jacob Humphreys, Braden McCartney and Charlie Pye were on target in that 4-3 reverse against Lutterworth Town. But they're still in 16th place in the table, 10 points above the drop zone, so fairly safe in there. Right, Hellenic Division 1 and Colin.
Yeah,
we've talked about Wantage Town have been free scoring in the Hellenic Division 1, especially at home in recent weeks. Then you turn up and they lose. I don't think they'll be winning you back anytime soon, Colin, to be honest. But what happened there?
Well, yeah, they've been banging goals in for fun, but sat with the crowd. I have to say, first off, Wantage Town, since I first went there a while back now, when they still a grass pitch, transformed club. I mean, fantastic 3G pitch, brand new sort of arena, new floodlights there, transformed really so, and a really, really friendly club. And a good 100+ people watching a very competitive game.
I have to say, the official attendance was 255, so
which is
there
good,
you go.
Isn't it? I mean, it's really good stuff. Okay, so, and it was a good game of football. I really thoroughly enjoyed it myself, but not necessarily the result. And they went 1-0 down from a free kick in the first half on the halfway line, drifted into the far post, but headed across goal into the back of the net. So really, that was it. And then the second goal, we talked about the Didcot Town goal. Did it go across the line? Well, I wasn't entirely sure. No was anybody else really, except the FC Stratford Town players, because it was a goal line bundle, and eventually I thought the linesman had flagged for a foul, but then again it wasn't. It was 2-0. And then second half, well, the wind and the rain come down. If you've never been to Wantage Town before, it's in the shadow of the Berkshire Downs. And when the gales come in across the Downs, I mean, and the rain comes too, whoa, it's an interesting game. So difficult conditions for the players on a 3G plastic pitch. Wantage Town did everything bar put the ball in the back of the net. They got a late goal, okay, and there's a bit of, I think it must be 6 minutes of additional time. As someone said to me, sat next to me, I just didn't seem to want to put the ball in the back of the net. So yes, I am going to talk to the chairman, interview the chairman, and we'll have that in in a future podcast and probably on the live show of Rock Sports Unleashed as well. But I hope I get invited back again because it was well worth my. I got my OAP £8 concession entry fee, so didn't blag a press pass. Thought it was a bit taking the mickey, but I thoroughly enjoyed that game. And I think really, as things stand, I mean, Wantage have slipped down a little bit. So at the start of play, Stratford Town were just below them on goal difference, really, because as we know, Wantage Town have got a fantastic plus 44 goal difference, I think it is. So, but that win takes Stratford Town above them. They've also got a game in hand over Wantage Town, so it's still a lot to play for. Games in hand as well. I suppose they have got points on the board, Wantage Town, so it's a good game. But I thoroughly enjoyed it down there, and hope that the chairman will forgive me for bringing them a little bit of bad luck on Saturday. Anyway, was there any other action taking place in that league that you can tell us about, Patrick?
Yeah, there was indeed. In fact, all of our teams were in action this weekend and managed to survive the weather. A big win for Carterton. They beat Shortwood United 2-1 at home. Finn Baker and Ben Brown were on target for them. But our other two teams, sadly, were defeated. Clanfield lost 4-0 to Newark Town, and Thame United reserves were beaten 2-0 by Malmesbury Victoria. And just a quick look at the table, and as you mentioned a minute ago, Wantage are in third place now. As we say, that was a big game, really, in terms of the title challenge that Wantage had, and sadly for them, came out the wrong end to FC Stratford, who leapfrogged them. But still some time to go, and we know how good Wantage's home form is. So as long as they can keep getting points on the board, they've given themselves a chance if FC Stratford slip up. Carterton, they're in 13th place, but sadly, Clanfield and Thame Reserves still occupy the bottom two spots and are falling a little bit adrift now, unfortunately. They're 6 points clear of the drop zone. So it needs some form to pick up in the second half of the season. Otherwise, it's looking a little bit iffy for them. We'll have a quick look at Sunday's action. Oxfordshire United, they continued their good form. They had Cheltenham Town in the Women's National League South and won 2-0. Both goals came in the second half. Emma Thompson gave the U's the lead just a couple of minutes after the restart. And then Maisie Barker made it 2-0 just a few minutes before the end. So a good win for them there. Abingdon United versus Moneyfield in Division 1 Southwest was postponed. But Oxford City progressed in the Southern Region Women's Football League Chairman's Cup. A long name to say there. They won 3-2 at Wimborne Town. They went 2-0 up in the first half. Ellie White gave City the lead from the spots before it was 2-0 on the stroke of half time. Wimborne hit back and made it 2-2, but Ellie White got her second of the afternoon to send City through.
What have local football fans got to look forward to this coming weekend, Patrick?
Yeah, it's Oxford United back at the Kassam Stadium. They welcome Birmingham City and a few of their high-profile owners now to the Kassam Stadium at a 3:00 kickoff on Saturday. A bit of high-profile visitors to Oxford City as well. League leaders are in town at South Shields. Come to the M Group Stadium. City be looking to do what they did to second place AFC Fylde last weekend, though, won't they? And try and get a win there. But I think it'll be a very tough challenge for City there. Banbury United hopefully will be on against Barwell. They're at home at Spencer Stadium, but as you say, there's a lot more rain coming this week again, so maybe a little bit in doubt that one. Thame United host Barton Rovers, as I mentioned a bit earlier, and they're just above them in the table, so that's a big game in terms of the playoff push. Didcot Town are on the road. They head to Larkhall Athletic in Division 1 South, and as Jamie Heapy mentioned in his interview, a few tough away games coming up, so yeah. That'd be a tough one for them. On Sunday, no fixtures for Oxford United Women or Abingdon United, but there is a game for Oxford City. They welcome Reading FC Community to Cold Place Farm, and that is a 2 p.m. kickoff on Sunday. So plenty of football potentially on, Colin, but yeah, just check social media channels before you set off and go anywhere, because there is the potential that game to be off again next weekend.
Yeah, well, it is pretty good because most of the local teams, right the way down to sort of step 6, do have a social media channel, and they do try and tell fans as soon as possible whenever a game is off. Right, so thank you very much indeed, Patrick Locke. That's what happened over the weekend of the 24th and 25th of January. I'm Colin Bride. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.